We are in Pittsburgh, everybody.
Whoa!
Woo! This is the first ever rendition of an in-person special episode of WrestleMan With The Podcast. We are so tightly sitting on this couch. We can
Don't worry
barely
about
move.
it. Don't worry about
But
it.
we got Clash at the Castle predictions. Ricochet leaving WWE. We got Roman Reigns updates. We got Ethan Page and Jordan Grace having their NXT pay-per-view debuts. We've got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. It starts right now.
Welcome to WrestleMan With The Podcast. I'm Dylan Shields. We talk Raw, SmackDown, wrestling news, and some fun top lists. With that being said, ring the bell.
All right, we are back. These two, you can't go wrong with the theme song here. But I think we're going to start with Clash at the Castle predictions here.
Okay.
Before we get into it, this has major implications on not just Money in the Bank, but SummerSlam. Some of these matches,
Yeah.
people have said oh, this pay-per-view, maybe you could pass it up, or oh, there's only 5 matches, or pay-per-views aren't as big because guys like Roman aren't here, Seth's not here. Well, Punk's not advertised, but
He'll be there.
He might show up.
He's gonna take the trip. He's gonna take the trip.
That may or may not be a prediction.
Yeah, but I think this pay-per-view is, like I said, a big deal in terms of what's going on in the summer. So very excited. Are there any things you guys are excited about in terms of the summer?
SummerSlam, definitely trying to go there to SummerSlam. That is the plan, is that we're all going to try and go.
Yep.
So
I hope Money in the Bank's good this year.
Yeah.
Whether we've got popcorn, by the way. For the viewers, if you guys are just listening and not watching, our parents made us some nice popcorn.
Unfortunately, I will eat.
And the thing is, for Clash at the Castle, at least for me, it's literally at the same day and the same time as my sister's graduation. So I'll have to wait till the next day to look back and look at Instagram and watch some stuff. You two, hopefully, will be able to watch.
No, I worked that entire time, so I'm gonna miss that entire thing.
Well,
I work till 2, so
lucky you.
But I'll probably try and watch it because I usually go on break around 1 or so. So I'll try and watch a match or 2. Then
doesn't the show start 2? I don't know when the show actually
1.
starts. It's 1.
That's what it was. The last pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and then in the same time zone, because Scotland and Wales, I believe, in the same time zone.
Yeah, makes sense. But let's get into it here. First match I'm going to do is Bayley versus Piper Niven for the Women's Championship. Here, let's put that up here.
Let's put that up there.
Yep, and I think is she from Scotland?
Yes,
Yep.
She's Scottish. That's why she's there.
So poor babyface Bayley's going to get booed.
She's going to have the whole Zelina Vega homecoming. Pretty much.
Piper Niven, yeah.
And good for her. I'm happy that Piper's going to be wrestling in front of her hometown.
Mm-hmm.
I do not think she's going to win.
No. I think Piper Niven is a very capable wrestler. She's had good matches. Have you ever seen her work in NXT UK?
Oh yeah.
Good stuff. That was good stuff. This match is going to be good, but there's no doubt about the outcome. I'm even suggesting it that somehow Bayley's finisher is going to be Bayley's going to be on the top rope and will go down with Piper Niven. So I'm predicting a top finish, top rope finisher to end this match. But yeah, no, Bayley is definitely winning. I am curious because it's weird to say. I feel like Bayley's just kind of been wandering because she's had matches, but nothing long term yet. So I'm very curious where she's going to end up. It seems like they're not doing a whole she's at least on pay-per-views compared to Liv Morgan, who is doing something else, but not wrestling apparently. Don't ask me, because she has no program. So at least Bayley's doing stuff, but yeah, I would like her to at least get a longer program, unless this continues. Unless Money in the Bank she faces Chelsea Green, which she might because she's Canadian and Money in the Bank's in Canada.
Makes sense.
There's something I do have a concern about, is that I think maybe instead of cheering a lot for Piper, maybe it'll be overshadowed by people cheering for Chelsea.
Here's Papa.
Maybe.
Because I know how sort of popular she's been recently. So I could see like the crowd maybe being like cheering her more, and maybe that might lead to Piper and Chelsea maybe down the line, maybe
Good.
potentially.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, but I was gonna ask or mention. I think people have been a little bit underwhelmed by Bailey's reign,
Which I
a little bit, because I felt like the story was like for her chasing was the EO stuff and the damage control stuff. Now that that's all over, it's like, what do we do with her? I think 100%. I mean, this is way down the line in August. I think Nia's probably taken that title from Bailey.
Yeah.
Since Nia, ever since she came back last fall, always like is in the big title matches, but loses when it matters. So it feels like they're finally going to give her something. Yeah, the finish is not in doubt. Bailey's not losing. These poor hometown people
No.
can't seem to win the big title match, but they give them the title matches. But
Yeah,
you can't.
at least
take
they
it
get
off
on the
Bailey
card so they
yet.
can be in front of like their family and stuff, and
Yeah.
they get a payday for it. I mean, wrestling on a PLE is always more money.
Yeah, get respect. Yeah, so yeah, definitely all of us going for Bailey. The other women's match is a triple threat women's tag title: Bianca and Jade, Shayna and Zoe. And I'm so bad at NXT, I don't remember names.
Alba Fire and
Isla Dawn.
Isla Dawn. I know it was Dawn. I do not know how to say her first name. They're
Thank
also
you.
two Scottish women. That's why they're on the card. They've
Yeah.
also done nothing. You remember they were like doing like witchcraft stuff and then vanished
Yeah.
for like months. And I was like, you want a tag title match just because we're in Scotland, so you got to be here.
We were mentioning right before we started this that like there's some titles not being defended, like the women's world title's not being defended, the US title isn't.
No men's
Yes, the
tag
women's
title.
tag title, the past 3 pay-per-views have been defended.
It's Jade.
Backlash, pre-show of King and Queen in the ring, but still they were defending them. And now this.
It's just Jade. They just want to put Jade over, so they're getting on every show. They're getting her on like any international show because they want to push Jade to the moon. And by this time next year, she'll probably hold either the women's belt or the women's world championship. I'm guaranteeing it.
Well, I think it's also it's Jade, but it's also Bianca too.
Yeah.
And she's been women's champion for however how long she was.
Ages.
So, I mean, you kind of want to keep her on television and pay-per-views because of how popular she is.
Yeah, but for this match, like at least Stark and Shayna have at least been on TV for the most part, so at least they have some credibility. When's the last time Alba Fire and Dawn have won a match? The
I don't know
silence-
the last time they've had
NXT.
a match.
NXT. How long ago were they in NXT? What, a year ago at this point? Couple months ago?
Something like that.
They've not won a single match. Like I said, they're only here for the Scotland pop, which makes me wonder as well because I think Nikki Cross is also Scottish, but she's also nowhere to be found. So I don't know. Why am I just weirdly think? I don't know. She could get involved in
Wyatt
this match.
6.
Wyatt Six
That's
also
where
doing
she's
nothing.
heavily rumored.
She's also still not happening for I don't know when. I don't know if that's happening at this show or not. But I mean, Jade and Bianca are obviously winning. At some point, I wonder though if the only way these two girls are going to lose tag title if one of them turns heel, because they're like so dominant right now. I mean, like they're just running through the roster that the only way they could lose them is if Bianca turns heel or Jade turns heel, which I know Jade can do a really good heel. Bianca's not been heel in ages, so I don't remember if she can do a good heel or not.
Bianca can do a good heel, but Bianca ain't gonna ever turn heel. I'm pretty sure she said she wants to be the female John Cena.
Female John Cena.
Yeah, kids love her, look up to her. So
That means Jade's turning heel. We know Jade's a great heel.
it makes sense. I just wish these women's tag titles would have more stories.
They just beat each
rather
other up.
than just you get a tag title match. Oh, disqualification. So you're in the match because you're in a hometown. Like, even with the men's tag titles, ever since it's split, there's kind of been a lack of story. Like, going back to, like, KO and Sammy versus the Usos, which is one of the best stories heading into Mania. That's what I want to see more consistently in tag teams, like more stories rather than just randomly placed matches. Even the New Day carrying stuff has way more story right now than this. So
I think it's weird as well because let's be honest, these two reigns are kind of placeholders until they get other people. Like the Austin Truth are gonna lose any day now. I'm shocked they've held the belts this long. I thought they would have lost. I thought it was just gonna be for the big Mania pop and then lose them immediately, but they've not. They've actually kept them for longer. And Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, A-Town down. I mean, you want to get those two guys over, but it's also like you also not do anything with them. But there's teasing dissension, so they might not be long for this world.
yeah. But we're talking about this one. So I bring that up
because there's nothing else to talk about. I mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be. You think Bianca Jade? I'm guessing. I'm going with Bianca Jade.
Of course, Bianca Jade.
I don't think they're.
I'm going different
Matt the Contrarian.
because I think considering they're both Scottish, and because they're now being back on television, I think that Isla Dawn and Alba Fire are going to win.
What was like some kind of voodoo witchcraft?
Because, like I said, I don't think Piper Niven's going to win, and I feel like
we'll get to Drew. Don't spoil that.
Yeah, but
Change.
I'll get to that later. But I think this is going to be their whole, like, them win the tag titles and the crowd's going to go crazy for it type of thing.
Okay.
And I think that's what's going to lead to Jade and Bianca splitting up to lead into SummerSlam.
Okay.
Because I feel like they will get like a rematch maybe at Money in the Bank, but then they'll lose, and that's when the turn will happen or something maybe.
Okay.
So that's my thinking process.
Man, to me, that's a WrestleMania match, Bianca.
Yeah,
Jade.
honestly,
I feel like you could have a bit more time to tell that story rather than 2-3 months. They lose the titles and they break up.
Yeah, you could drag that out to like Rumble, Mania.
I mean, it would be a cool moment, but yeah, it'd be hard for me to believe. But yeah, our first different one of the night. So very interesting. Our next match here, there it is, for the IC title. Sami Zayn versus one of the best heels right now, Chad Gable.
Listen.
Oh man, this Gable. No, I hate this. Sucks for Sammy. He's third wheel in this storyline. It is the Gable Otis storyline.
It is,
and Sammy's just like, no, Otis, listen to me. Listen to the fans. Like, it's about Gable and the Alpha Academy, and it's just been
gold.
The moment Otis turns. Now, it's going to be awesome. Do we think it's going to be Saturday?
No.
I'm
thinking they might drag this out. What you were saying about them turning for a SummerSlam match, I'm thinking Gable actually wins. Because let's say, like, Otis is trying to actually, like, help Sammy win, but accidentally has Gable win. But he's also, like, winning on his side, but he doesn't want to because of Gable being a prick. So that means Gable win the title, and then they can have their feud for SummerSlam. So Gable and Otis for SummerSlam IC title. I think that that storyline that they're building up, I think that's worthy of an IC title match, or at least a match at SummerSlam. So, but I think Gable, because if you keep having him lose, there's not much else unless he actually does win. Like, he's just gonna keep losing, and then what else are we gonna do for him? I guess then lose to Otis, unless he beats Otis, which some we can talk about later. I don't know. Because you want to get Otis over because he's getting the huge babyface pop, but you want to also establish Gable as a heel. So him beating him would be big. But for this match, just this match right now, I'm going Gable wins the IC title.
What do you think, Matt? You think same thing?
I think Sam is going to retain.
Oh,
look at this going different.
But
I don't know.
I think this is what's going to lead to Chad finally turning on Alpha Academy, and it's going to be the Creed brothers and Ivy that go join Sammy, and then that's going to
mean Gable?
What did I say?
You said Sammy.
Man, too many popcorn kernels.
Oh yeah, my mind's in the gutter. Anyway.
Oh wait.
But yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think that Sammy and Chad will fight again at SummerSlam. And that's when Gable's going to win. But that's when Otis and Alpha Academy return. They beat the shit out of Chad. So, and that's when the whole pop's going to go and everyone's going to go crazy. And then that's pretty much my thinking process. I would say, like, for Money in the Bank, I would say, like, have Sammy fight someone else maybe.
Bronson Reed again? I don't know. Who's also in the mid card? Ludwig Kaiser.
Maybe.
Sheamus.
Yeah, face versus face. I mean, it's tough because this is Gable's third opportunity for the title.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how many more times can this man lose?
Yeah, I feel like if the only way I could see Sammy retaining is if they pulled the trigger and Otis turns on him. That's the only way I could see it truly happening. And I think they're going to milk it out a little bit longer. I think if Gable loses again, I don't think his credibility to have one more match with Sammy is going to be there. So it sucks for Sammy because it feels like all he's done is champ his feud with Gable and then like Reed every now and then. I know he beat Otis on Raw, but they gave that belt to Sammy, I think. I hate to say as a consolation prize, but like we couldn't have you end Roman's reign because that's for Cody.
Yeah.
We can at least have you end this reign. You can end the historic reign of Gunther, give you a big moment. Because even if Sammy loses the belt Saturday, which I'm gonna go with Gable, I feel like with Sammy, like the reign's not as important as the moment he won at Mania. So, and I just think you got to capitalize on Gable's heat that he has. It's so good right now. I would just love to see the Creed brothers will attack Alpha Academy as they're trying to like help Gable, or maybe they're teasing turning. They'll help him out. Sammy will be distracted and Gable will take advantage and win the title. That'll establish the new stable. And I'm with you, Troy, because I know people are kind of saying Gable Otis isn't SummerSlam worthy. I think with this storyline, it is for the IC title. I definitely think it is.
I think it should be Tozawa.
It should be Maxine Dupree.
And I was even thinking way ahead of time, Troy, about if they have a match for the IC title, who wins. I don't see much of Otis as champion, as a singles champion. I think you give Gable that win if they face off for the title and give him that heat. He should have a decent reign as IC champ, and then eventually someone could dethrone him. Maybe like Sheamus, who's never held the IC title, or somebody. But
they would have banger matches. They would. That match would hit.
Yeah.
I will say that if any of the members are going to turn on Chad Gable from Alpha Academy, I do see Tozawa being the first one to be like, I'm done with this crap. Because I saw on Raw, like he was like sticking up for Otis first.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like the crowd, they had a decent sized pop for Tozawa for when he was like sticking up for Otis. And then, then Maxine Dupree was just like, don't be doing this. And then Gable was like, you should be leaving, blah, blah, blah. Don't be getting involved or whatever. And then that's when Otis kind of like stepped up to Chad.
That was the biggest pop.
That was the pop.
And Gable was scared. He was like trying to apologize to him. So I feel like that if they were to turn on Chad Gable, Tozawa would be the first person to I can see him like facing Sammy to the point where like maybe Otis later down the line be like, no, don't be doing this. Like, this is our friend type of stuff or something.
I could see Gable winning the title and at Money in the Bank, him against Tozawa. And then we get to Otis at SummerSlam for like the big match. So yeah, I'm very excited. I think quality wise, this could be one of the better ones. Let's get into the, I guess, semi-main event.
Oh yeah.
It is the I Quit match between Cody and Mark Henry copycat AJ Styles.
I don't care. I love the fake retirement so much. We had the salmon jacket. Now we got the light blue jacket,
whitish blue jacket,
baby blue jacket.
Never trust people in bright colored suits.
Absolutely not. I thought that was awesome. I remember. I think we talked about it when on the podcast when we were like, "Oh, the AJ feud was short, unfortunately." I remember people saying like, "Oh, it's just a one and done." No, they got me. They got me. They brought it back. I'm loving it. I'm really hoping, because now that WWE and TNA are together, that somehow AJ brings out TNA stuff. I don't think AJ is going to win, but just, TNA elements, because I love TNA. Big TNA fan, but I'm very happy with this feud. I'm happy AJ is finally getting heel AJ. It feels
like this heel AJ is finally working. I feel like when he first came back against Roman, it was kind of like, because it was fatal 4-way, but now with this fake retirement,
gold.
He's actually got heat now.
Gold. I love it. Now,
they're chanting AJ sucks.
I wonder if this is going to lead to another match at Money in the Bank, or if this is going to be it.
I will say the stipulation's quite clever. I quit when Styles ironically said, "I'm retired, I'm quitting." Like that's pretty unique.
My brother was talking to me about this. It would be so funny if somehow the only way AJ can win is. Do you remember when The Rock took a voice clip of Mankind for since Cody Rhodes kept saying "I quit" on SmackDown? Yeah, takes that, puts in the mic, wins the world title.
I quit.
Could you imagine the heat? I know that's not gonna happen, but if it did, I will lose my mind. It's not gonna happen. But just think about it. Just put that in your mind. Put like a nice little nugget.
Yeah,
in there.
I did say this, I think last week. I wish they would maybe give Styles a few more wins to give him more momentum against Cody. think the last match he had, he lost to Randy in a good match, but like King of the Ring.
Oh yeah, he didn't lose. King
But
of the
I
Ring.
guess like you don't need, I guess for momentum, you don't have to like win a bunch of matches. All you need is to get heat, and Styles got it. I mean, the crowd, I don't know if they fell for it, if they're just playing along. I mean, I think I knew, especially when Cody came out, like he's not retiring. You don't get jacked the way he did and then retire in 5 months.
See, I think it's the opposite. I think everyone knew AJ was retiring. All right.
I guess the one possibility is he going back to TNA maybe or something.
Don't get me excited. This man was the face of TNA for like a decade.
So
I did, and Mark Henry, I think, said, AJ, I'm so proud of you. We kind of like meet up one day.
Yes, the tag team.
I did have a prediction that kind of like got ruined by the last NXT pay-per-view, but the Gallus and Anderson were fighting for the NXT tag titles.
Yeah.
I was thinking that they would win the tag titles and then AJ would come down to NXT, win the NXT title, and then they could still do the whole TNA NXT crossover, because that's where the whole TNA crossover is coming with, is NXT. So I was thinking that was what was going to happen, but I mean, Gallows and Anderson could always win the titles later, but
yeah.
But
as for this match, Matt,
I mean, well, I'll predict first
Okay.
since I was taught. I mean, I know people said like it'd be cool if Styles won the title even for a bit and Cody got it back, and it would be, but he's the face of the company. Cody's not losing this. He's the modern day John Cena. He's not going to say I quit. He's going to get put through hell and not say it. There might be a Rock McFoley moment, but like,
will he bleed? Will he bleed?
I don't.
I'm really hoping
so.
Cody bleeds, because every damn match I'm like, Cody, please bleed.
But like you said, I'm very happy they're keeping this feud going. I think they're going to do one more match at Money in the Bank too.
What stipulation though for Money in the Bank?
Hell in a Cell, steel cage.
Inside Money in the Bank, when you're
3 stages of hell.
Kennel from Hell match. I don't know.
But
Full rope.
But I'm happy.
Full rope or
that makes
TNA
sense.
if they do TNA Ultimate X match where they climb the truss. Listen,
Well,
I will
yeah.
lose my shit. Don't get me. Listen,
They won't even do that for NXT. Are you
Yet.
kidding me?
yet.
No, but Cody, 100%. Probably the easiest match to me at the night to predict. But what do you think, Matt?
Cody.
Is it?
I think Cody is gonna be like he's like the new Cena in a sense. So I don't.
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you
Superboy
win
is
this?
a Superboy actually, but anyway. But
A super is a super.
yeah, I don't see Cody saying I quit. I mean, he might, like you guys said, AJ might think better and like record it or something like that. I mean, Miz did that with Cena the one time, but then got caught.
Oh, yeah!
That might happen, like a get caught moment, maybe.
Yeah.
When you guys were talking about with The Rock and all, I was thinking directly from that Miz Cena
I
match.
completely forgot about
Over
that
the
match.
limit.
I love that you remember Over the Limit, what, 2011?
Oh,
was
yeah,
it?
the 2011.
Oh, God.
He's got
Me thinking of
DVDs
Rock
everywhere.
in 99.
So yeah, I think Cody's definitely gonna win.
But at least the match should be really
Oh, this match is
good.
going to be
yeah.
fantastic.
Those two don't
Another
disappoint.
5-star classic. This is going to be great.
But let's get into the big one.
Okay.
This 100% better be the main event. Damian
gotta
Priest
be.
versus the home country hero Drew McIntyre in Scotland. And I want to go back to when we predicted WrestleMania. You called Damian's cash in. But we were all saying, even if it happened and when the moment happened, we're like, oh, well, Drew's going to get his moment at Clash at the Castle then. Priest will hold it for a few months. Now, we don't know. Because this guy, he's talked about it in promos and stuff, how he'll be in Scotland. And there's a possibility that Punk could ruin this man's dream and ruin his chances. I think 100% we're going to see him. It's just a matter of will it affect, or like, will Drew still lose, or like, who's he going to screw, or whatever. But yeah, let's start with Troy.
Okay.
Who's winning this?
Listen. Well, because they're also kind of teasing the Judgment Day breakup of all the stuff going on with Dom and Liv. So I don't know if that's going to have any effect on this match, that the Judgment Day has kind of been hokey. But I'm thinking, listen, y'all didn't pull the trigger on Drew beating Roman Clash of Castle last year. You can't have Drew keep losing these big UK pay-per-views. Like, you can't have this. You can't keep doing this, because they do another Clash and he's still in the main event. If he loses again in that one, guys, please. He cannot win in his hometown. But honestly, for me, because I see it both ways. I've been like seeing like the Drew and Punk match could be for the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam. They could do that, or the World Heavyweight could be like Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
Well, ever since Gunther, now he's going to challenge for SummerSlam. I think that was the moment when he won King of the Ring, and now we know he's in a world title match at SummerSlam. Now everyone's like, well, I don't know about this Damian Drew match anymore.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm thinking they could just do Drew versus Gunther again at SummerSlam. I feel like
I don't know though, because we got it last year, but
you can have rematches a year in a event. We also got to think Money in the Bank is next.
Yeah.
And what the hell are they gonna do? Because you could be a dick. And I was thinking about this as well. What if CM Punk somehow is in the Money in the Bank match, wins it, and then immediately casts it on Drew and takes his world title? He gets his moment, but then immediately loses it again to be a prick. Could you imagine the heat? I'm just thinking about that. Like,
Punk's supposed to be the babyface in this feud, by the way.
Come on, no, he's not.
But if they do that, then that means CM Punk would face Gunther.
Yeah.
On SummerSlam.
I don't mind.
What did they say?
I don't mind.
What didn't they say it had to be for the World Heavyweight title?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, like,
he's not. Nia has to face Bailey.
Because they're on the brands.
Or
I'm like,
or
Gunther
for the
could
women's title.
Gunther could just face Cody if that was okay. I forgot that.
There was part of me that would think that Gunther would like shock people, be like, "Oh, you thought I was challenging for the world?" Like, no, I'm challenging Cody, but
no,
I think we're leaning towards Cody Orton for SummerSlam. So,
because like I said, it really depends who's winning Money in the Bank. Because I feel like whoever wins Money in the Bank is probably cashing in for the World Heavyweight title.
yeah,
I think.
Make your gut pick, Troy.
I'm
Pick
going
what's in
Drew.
your heart.
I'm going Drew.
You're
I
going-
feel like they're finally going to give Drew a nice moment, and then like he'll have his moment, and then CM Punk will like on Raw or something probably. But like, give Drew at least a moment, please, for his sanity, for his family. This man's been through too much. Please just give him. Listen, he can lose that belt at SummerSlam or Money in the Bank. It don't matter. Just at least they give him that one night. Actually, there.
Well,
I'm going Drew.
All right, Matt. I think I have a feeling who you're predicting, but go ahead.
First off, I just want to say I hope to God they bring back Drew McIntyre's old theme song.
They did for the original
They
Clash.
did against Roman.
They did
They
original
have
Clash.
to.
They did, but I hope they actually bring it
He comes
back.
out to it.
Like I hope it's not just like the full-on song for it, but I hope he like brings it full time. Because with the whole Broken Dreams, it makes sense because of Priest cashing on him,
Mhm.
Punk screwed him. Drew never had a moment with the fans as champion. Then he finally did, but it got taken away. So I feel like that song would definitely represent his like career right now. I have to say that I do think Punk's going to get involved, and I'm going to say that Damian Priest is going to retain. I don't see Drew winning. I still think they're going to do Drew versus CM Punk at SummerSlam, just not for the title. And I think that's okay because I don't think it needs the title. And then I would probably save, Punk to win the title at Mania. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that would make sense. Punk wants the main event, Mania again. My big thing is, does Damian versus Gunther at SummerSlam feel like a SummerSlam match?
I was about to bring that up. No. It feels like a Raw match.
Yeah, and I know it's like he might turn babyface. He's gonna break apart from the Judgment Day, and people are gonna cheer for him. Although my argument is people are gonna cheer for Gunther because everyone just loves the way he wrestles and wants to see him as champion.
I want him to destroy him.
I'm so back and forth with this. Like I said, at Mania itself, I would have been like, oh yeah, Drew's winning this, no doubt. Now that Priest only had like one defense, it would be kind of disappointing if Drew won and that's it for Priest. Like, that's all you get as champion. Like, maybe he'll win it because I know Damian signed a new contract and kind of has like some creative control now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But who knows? I don't think he has that much creative control. It's like, I'm winning this or I'm holding this, like, as long as Roman.
See you in 4 years. Oh, God.
But yeah, I could definitely see both your sides. Like, it's one of those things where my mind's telling me one thing, my heart's telling me the other thing. My mind's saying Damian because of the story with Drew's character and the fact that the big thing with Drew is he's not focusing on the right people. He focused on Punk when he shouldn't have at Mania, and it costed him. He focused on Michael Cole a few weeks ago and got chokeslammed through a table. that's why people are thinking he's going to be so focused and forget about Punk that like when he comes out, he's going to be stunned and then it'll cost them. But I think Drew acknowledged like, oh, what if Punk gets involved? And he's like, the fans will get you. Like the fans will riot or something. I don't know if they'll actually riot if Drew loses. It's 2024.
And the thing too is that we're also forgetting about the rest of Judgment Day.
Yeah.
They're also going to get involved. Like Dom's going to get
no, I think they're barred from ringside.
Yeah, they are.
Are they?
Because
They just got lost.
Because Drew beat
That don't
Finn
stop
on
anyone
Raw.
though. Let's be honest.
Well,
That don't stop anyone.
Which further makes it like, oh, Punk's coming out.
I could still see like maybe like Liv or Carlito, because Carlito's technically
Yeah,
Carlito's
Liv
technically
makes
not
sense.
Carlito's technically not part of Judgment Day. I
Yeah,
don't think so.
and Liv's
It's
not.
tech, yeah.
And Liv's not. Yeah, that would be interesting. There probably still will be a bunch of BS.
Or
And
they
Punk
could-
will be the ultimate.
Or they could still get
Moment.
involved and just not listen to the rules. I mean,
I did say before, like when we predict this, like Punk's gonna be there. It's just a matter of what would affect it. I'm gonna go with my heart and pick Drew because
Woo!
of what you said. You can't keep doing this to Drew.
Give this poor man.
I'm
It's
not-
like when are you gonna give him his moment if he doesn't win in Scotland? I've said this before. Like the Roman moment was even more perfect, but they didn't do it. It couldn't be any more extra perfect than your home country.
Yeah.
In Scotland.
This man is
And I know it's like, well, he got his moment, even if it was for 5 minutes at Mania, but it was for 5 minutes. Damien to me just doesn't feel much of a champion. I like Drew's character so much better. I just feel like this heel character Drew deserves a title reign, even if it's only till SummerSlam or Bash at Berlin or something. I think what we're going to get is Drew versus Punk versus Gunther in a triple threat at SummerSlam for the title. They're not going to do Drew Gunther again because it's heel versus heel, and we've already seen it. Punk's going to maybe try to earn his way to the match. Like it might be like a Roman Rock thing or something where it's like, oh no, this is our match. It's Drew versus Gunther. And Punk's like, screw that. The people want to see me in this too. And he gets his way into the match.
It's like a heel version of Daniel Bryan.
And maybe either Gunther loses or something happens. One of the wrestlers gets protected to keep the feud going or something. And maybe Gunther gets his moment at Bash at Berlin. Because I prefer Gunther to win the title at Bash at Berlin, even though we're going to be at SummerSlam in person. Just feel like him winning that in his home country is going to be such a big pop.
Yeah.
Compared to, no disrespect, Cleveland, who they're not going to give him like a babyface reaction. They're going to probably
Who are they
boo him.
going to give a babyface with? Like who's from Cleveland? The Miz?
Logan Paul, but
Logan Paul,
they
they're
don't
not- they're
don't
not-
like him.
Yeah. So they're not gonna no hometown pops.
No, but yeah, I think you just got to go with Drew, man. And maybe Damian will win the belt at some point. But like, yeah, just please. Please, me
for
and
Drew's
Troy,
family,
please,
for Drew's
his
family,
just
please.
give this to
Just
him.
It can be a day. Just let him go
Yeah,
home.
maybe not a day. I want him to just reign for a bit as champion. And I just, like I said, I think Drew headlining or being one of the champions at SummerSlam is a bigger deal than Damian. Just Damian Gunther just doesn't feel like SummerSlam to me. Like Drew Gunther does, but like I said, add Punk to the mix, and that definitely feels. And Punk Gunther, I don't mind that interaction at all.
No.
I want to see Punk get his Pepsi tattoo chopped
Oh
off.
my
So
God. He'll get his chest imploded, then he'll be out for like another 6 months.
Yeah, if
I've heard he's gotten in a lot. Well, he's gotten a lot better shape, but like, who knows?
Well, same.
Yeah, but this Matt with different picks, 3 different picks.
I'm the oddball in this.
You
But
really
listen. I was the oddball at WrestleMania. No one predicted Priest cashing in, so I was right about that.
He's gonna hold this over my head,
I'm
Fred.
just saying.
I still
and let's go back to
Mania 35.
35. Yeah, we'll tell
we
the
all-
viewers.
When you for some reason the only one that picked the Iconics to win the women's tag
Yeah,
titles.
you guys remember that match?
And
no one
no
picked
one
the
does.
Iconics,
No.
except this guy.
This
You're
man
gonna
picked the Iconics, and we both didn't, and we both lost predictions because of that one match. And it was the saddest thing ever.
I knew they were going to win. That's why I picked them. I was like, they're an actual functional team. They're going to win. And you're like, no, they're not going to win it. I'm like, no, they're going to win it.
And then they did
And it
nothing with the
happened,
belts.
I'm like,
it was
yep.
iconic.
And then they did nothing with those
Iconic.
belts.
Well, but very excited for this pay-per-view, even though half of us can't watch it till later.
Woo!
But
too done.
go Drew. Yes,
Yeah.
it is very sunny, but Let's get into the next sad news.
Ah,
Ricochet last night. Braun
Kill-
Breaker killed this man.
did you see? Yeah, on his Wikipedia page that Braun Breaker killed this man. It's on his Wikipedia.
Yeah,
page.
I was
Matt told
telling
me about-
Dylan. in the
Yeah, you
car
were
ride.
telling me about that.
Actually, it's amazing.
Yeah, for Ricochet.
Listen,
Yes,
he had a very weird career in WWE where he had like so many start and stop pushes where he would win belts. Like he was U.S. champion, NXT North American champion, IC champion, Speed champion.
24/7.
Yeah, he's won so many belts, but then also does nothing with them. Like they're like, oh, do we want to push Ricochet? Yeah, let's give him the belt. And we're
Kind of
bored.
the last notable thing he did was the Logan Paul stuff.
And
That's the last time.
Yeah.
I think he's-
Unless you count the Speed championship.
Yeah.
he just had a great match with Dragunov. It's like,
Uh,
how do you not capitalize off of that? But
I was really hoping that they would do Breaker versus Ricochet, but I guess they're not doing that. But
I wonder
didn't
if they
have
had
a Raw
pl-
match. I thought they had a Raw match in Breaker 1.
They might have
Really?
wanted to have like a longer match, but
Yeah,
they were
like
like, well, Ricochet doesn't want to stay. So our plans for doing a Ricochet. But listen, Ricochet's going to do well wherever he goes.
Where do you think he's going?
Listen, at this point, he's going to AEW and he's going to be lost in the shuffle after 3 months. He'll have a great match with Will Ospreay. I know he'll have another match.
Bring back yes.
They're going to have that match. They're
Matches.
going to have that match. If he goes to AEW, he's having that match. And then we'll be stuck on Collision or Rampage for the next plus 6 months to do nothing.
it's crazy because I heard like how people were saying maybe because of Will Ospreay saying like praising Ricochet and that he's not being utilized in WWE. Maybe that's the reason why he's not staying. I did also hear, and I agree with the fact that he'll probably debut at All In AEW, maybe against Will Ospreay or something
See,
like that.
that perfect match.
And I don't know if he'll get lost in shuffle. I don't know. It
Liz.
depends. It depends on how much Tony Khan would want to use him and all that. I mean, they've used Will Ospreay pretty good, I think, so far.
It just feels like the track record is for AEW is always like 50-50 anymore. Because like we all were like excited for Andrade to go in there. He did nothing. Miro barely did anything.
But there's another thing I have noticed too, though, is that like AEW is now sort of like getting rid of unnecessary people that they don't
Yeah, I've
need
kind of heard
anymore.
about that.
Yeah,
So-
people are leaving AEW. Like Ethan Page left. And like I know
Ricky Starks, I think,
is going to leave and he's
Yeah.
going to do great in WWE.
Yeah.
It's
He'll
AEW.
be known as the Rock's son.
Listen, no, he'll be
The
an LA,
Pebble.
no, he'll be a LA Knight tag team, the Rock clones. Listen, I like I said he'll do well. He will do well. I just because I'm thinking besides the Will Ospreay match, do they have room for him? Because they already have too many people. No, he joins Jericho's terrible landing tree,
That ain't happening.
which is destroying whoever. What Big Bill, Hook. What the hell is that black dude's name? I actually never remember.
I think last
Ryan Keith!
Ryan Keith.
Ryan Keith.
I'm sorry, he's too generic and boring. I don't give a shit.
He's a great wrestler.
I don't care. There's
He's
a
the
lot of
bounty hunter.
There's a lot of great wrestlers. Name a promo. Name it like more character stuff.
I mean, my big not knock on Ricochet.
You're silent. I know.
It's not the best promo.
No, he cannot talk. Let's be
He's
honest.
not-
Ricochet cannot talk.
You could have given him a manager. You could have given him like an MVP or something.
Have his fiance
And he-
Samantha Irvine.
Yeah, you could have just some manager, and he was like you said, stop pushes.
Have
He
him-
won.
Have Heyman go to Raw and manage Ricochet instead.
Oh.
Be like, I'm done with the bloodline. I want to manage someone else. I'll
This
manage
ball
Braun
guy-
Breaker. I'll manage Ricochet. I never managed a high flyer that well before, so
But everyone backstage has said like Logan Paul's praising was the most athletic guy, and like I said, most notable feud probably was with him. He held a few titles, but they weren't memorable.
He did nothing with them. It was
Gun-
weird.
I don't think a lot of people remember that Gunther's title reign started with Ricochet.
That's gonna be his
Because
greatest
that was
moment.
back, and yeah, the IC title was irrelevant at the time.
That's gonna be
And
his
Gunther
greatest
had to
moment.
make it
He will be the
relevant.
trivia question that to answer. Who did Gunther beat to become the longest reigning US title champion of all time?
Yeah,
That's gonna be a trivia
He
question.
has good matches, but the character just never got there. He was like teasing sort of a heel character towards the end, but
Yeah.
it just never went anywhere.
Like his entire character was always just flips.
Yeah.
He never had a character.
And you mentioned Samantha Irvin. Please to God, tell me this doesn't mean that she's gone. from
Nah,
WWE.
listen. Most people don't. You know how many people are from AEW and WWE? They're gonna be.
I
fine.
know, but like, who
Oh,
knows
yeah.
what their schedules, how tough it's going to be for them to see
Now-
each other and everything.
here's the thing. If she does leave, who's gonna fill out the role on Raw?
They'll
That'd be
hire
awesome.
some new.
I don't know who was. I think someone took her spot at the end. I don't know who it was.
Oh, Paul McAfee. It was Pat McAfee because it was like
Pat McAfee.
McAfee. Why do I keep saying? What am I saying?
McAfee.
Why do I keep saying McAfee?
It's just, I mean, I guess he's funny, but like, I don't think Pat's gonna be permanent guy for that.
You know how easy it is to get a ring announcer. Let's be honest. It does not matter who they get.
Samantha's.
Oh no, she's amazing. She's
so
one of the best
good.
announcers we've had since like
Willie Garcia
Now-
like gave her flowers.
I'm trying to think of what's his name. He did commentary or he did the announcing for SmackDown, but because Alicia Taylor got called from NXT to SmackDown.
Oh, what is
went,
that?
He went
Yeah.
to NXT. Mike Rome, I think.
Yeah, Mike
Yeah.
Rome.
He might go to Raw,
And then they
but,
can get a
but
new one.
then they may probably have to hire someone new for like NXT or something like that.
Yeah.
Have Booker do the announcing.
Please. Oh, Booker T. Oh, anytime I watch
Get
it.
him off the freaking commentary desk and his nonsense that he says,
Oh, Chunky Ducky, quack quack.
or just screams when an announce table spot happens.
This
Ah!
is the main event tonight. This lady coming out here too hot.
Anyway, we're I think he's AEW bound too because the whole Ospreay stuff. It's just like written in stone right there. And his high flying style. He might have more freedom to do stuff. Stay safe still. Don't like kill yourself out there. But like he'll probably have more freedom in AEW. What you think he's gonna go there too?
Yeah, I think he's going to go to AEW. And there is a dream match I would love to see in AEW. Tony Khan, if you're listening, I
No,
want
he's
you to
not.
book this.
Wait, the Elite run things now.
That's true.
Gotta
Rick-
show them on Cage Match.
Ricochet versus Danielson. I
Yeah.
think would be an
Oh.
amazing match
Yeah.
if it's done right.
You just put Danielson versus insert
Anyone, yeah.
anyone, but yeah, that would be awesome.
Or Ricochet versus any of the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
Like Phoenix. Or Pac. All of Death Triangle. That would be scrumptious.
Yeah. Take my $50 for your pay-per-views that you
I-
still make us pay. that
I don't
much.
know why it's
Now-
stupid.
Now, if Ricochet, if he does go to AEW, do you think he's going to be Ricochet? Do you think he's going to be Prince Puma?
Who owns who owns the copyright for Lucha Underground stuff? Because I believe Lucha Underground owns that, but Lucha Underground's not been a thing for like 5 years.
Prince Puma, I love that name when he was that. He
So
was a
good, was?
badass, but like,
Because he can't be he was Ricochet in the Indies as well. So I don't know if he owns the copyright for Ricochet or if WWE bought the copyright for him afterward. I do not know.
You can call him Prince Ricochet.
Like, what's his real name?
Rick.
no.
He's something generic. Let's be honest. He's gonna be
the
so-
most invested we've been talking about Ricochet. I mean,
And guess what? And no, we're gonna talk about his debut, and we're not gonna talk about him for another 6 months. I'm just listen, y'all.
We'll see.
I'm just saying facts.
We'll see. But we got to talk about a new Bloodline member.
Uh,
It's not Jacob Fatu.
yeah, I don't know where he is.
I don't know who this guy's name is, so you guys might need to say it. It's this guy.
It's Hikalu.
Hikaleo?
Sorry.
Hikaleo.
No,
Sorry for
sorry
whoever
for-
watches New Japan. I don't watch that anymore, so I don't know who this guy
I
is.
think he's Tamatonga's brother. I think.
So Tangaloa, because they're brothers.
Tanga-
But they're both brothers.
I think they're brothers. Yeah.
So son of Haku.
Yeah, but that's like heavily rumored because I think it's in New Japan contracts up, and I think WWE's trying to sign him.
Every
and
Polynesian
he's gonna be the new member. And now people are saying Fatu's gonna join the babyface bloodline, join Roman and the Usos,
That'd be
which
fine.
would be interesting.
I mean, you kind of have to have it evened out
4 on
definitely
4, yeah.
for War Games. I
Yeah.
think
yeah,
so.
and I don't think The Rock's gonna do War Games.
That'd be crazy.
Oh,
That'd be crazy if it was Team Rock versus Team Roman.
that would be so
War
awesome
Games.
though.
That would sell all kinds of fucking tickets.
The tickets. He's on the board. You can just. But that also means that I know people are talking of having Sami Zayn rejoin the Bloodline to face the heel Bloodline.
Yeah, that's true too.
But now, if Jacob Fatu is a face, then that's not going to happen.
but like that's just speculation. so-
Yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah,
just-
this guy's rumored before Fatu is, so it seems like we're gonna see him.
Fatu
next.
is just sitting at home collecting a paycheck. Smartest businessman ever.
Well, they've been saying they don't want Solo to get outshined because
Have
they
him on
want
Raw,
him to
then.
be the guy in the bloodline.
You have other damn shows you can put him on.
I think you mentioned this, Troy, that like we got to make them threats to Roman because when Roman comes back, like he's the guy.
He's the
when they
guy.
do this War Games. That's why I wish Rock was involved in this because he could be like that superstar caliber to Roman. If it's Roman, if it's the OG versus the new, people care about the OG way more.
Yeah.
Like I've liked what the new Bloodline's done, and I love Paul Heyman. Give him his freaking Oscars.
He got in the Hall of Fame. Give him like 5 more Hall of Fame rings. This man is so gold.
He's like trapped in this new Bloodline.
Once in a lifetime manager.
He wants to leave.
So funny.
He's like, I'm a Hall of Famer now. Can I just retire?
I would be interested in a babyface Heyman. We really haven't seen that since like ECW, so
yeah,
that'd be interesting because
Hall of Fame.
Because I think Roman said like Heyman's with me, like Roman can't see a world without Heyman, so I doubt Heyman's gonna turn on Roman all of a sudden and join this new Bloodline. So, but yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen his work. I mean, I don't think you guys watch New Japan that much.
I used to watch New Japan like 2017, like Omega and Okada.
Well, from the shirt, I think he was in the Bullet Club.
Everyone's in the Bullet Club. The Bullet Club is so huge. It's so overbloated. Who cares?
The new NWO.
I'm surprised your brother hasn't been in the Bullet Club yet.
He was yet. They're still right. Did you also see that? I heard that. I don't know if it's news or not. That Jay White and their group cannot be called Bullet Club Gold, so that's why they're just now going by Bang Bang Gang.
Yeah, I heard they.
New Japan's like, you're not using Bullet Club. Suck it. Sorry, these guys are losers. It's so funny.
The Gang Bang.
Terrible name. Terrible. At least Bullet Club Gold at least had a coolness factor. Bang Bang Gang. These guys are losers. I'm sorry. And Jay White loses like any big match he's in that's not a tag match.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go from AEW.
I keep complaining. I'm
WWE.
sorry. I feel like I'm complaining so much about AEW. I would love AEW, but
speaking of one of them former AEW guys, how about Ethan Page,
Yeah.
Jordan Grace? When I think it was 2 weeks ago when we had our podcast together. Immediately after was when they debuted.
Yeah, we were on the show. I was like, hold up.
Not just Jordan.
I was
both
freaking
of them.
out. I was freaking out because I actually was watching NXT.
We were still on this website, and Troy was like, "Oh my God, Jordan Grace!" And then
She's like my favorite from TNA.
And they both had title matches on pay-per-views. Both lost, but I didn't see the matches. I think they were both good matches.
They were. The Roxanne Jordan Grace match was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Crowd was chanting TNA before the match even
Hell
started.
yeah, they were. That would have been me. I was chanting TNA at my house. Me and my house with my dog. Just TNA.
Yeah.
Tits and ass.
Woo!
I'm gonna have to bleep that. Anyway, the Ethan Page thing, is he officially signed?
Yes, he's fully signed.
Okay, because didn't he say in his promo like I'm not signed yet or something?
No. But let's be honest. They say that he's signed. Come on.
Well, I think Ethan Page definitely. I think he went back to TNA. I could be wrong. After AEW, but like I don't know if they had like a full on deal.
He did like indie runs. I know people talked. He did like some indie show and like I can't remember where. And then like 2 days later was on NXT. No one's like, hold it. So I don't know if that was his last indie show or what, but he's got to be signed. I mean, NXT's on soon. When we're recording this, it's gonna be soon. So that he might say more, but let's be honest, Ethan Page is gonna be signed. I think he's gonna do very well. He was one of the guys that definitely got lost super heavily in the shuffle of AEW. That like he had this big. You remember this debut as like a ladder match? He was like the surprise entrance.
Oh yeah.
And then they put him as Scorpio Sky,
which I thought was really good.
It was. The problem is they did nothing with it.
Yeah.
They did nothing with it.
The Men of the Year,
right?
That's what they were called. I forgot they were the men. Like Scorpio Sky at least got TNA title runs for some reason.
Yeah.
And then did nothing. But at least Ethan Page did nothing in AEW. Like his career in AEW. So like he feuded with Chris Jericho and like that group. Do you remember when they feuded? Terrible time.
The last relevant thing I remember from Ethan Page was like an MJF match. That's really the last thing I remember.
When the hell was that?
I don't.
Was that when he was champion?
Collision. I think
Collision.
Oh, great.
It was a Collision.
So show I don't watch.
And I think Page was like turning face or something. That's like the last.
I think it was because it was in Page's hometown. I think it was
That's
like,
right.
I think it was like in Canada or something.
Yeah, that's like the last thing I remember from his till this.
No, he did do the thing with the Hardy Boys. It was like a Hardy party thing, and like at first he was like the like bossing them around, but then he was like started doing like Jeff's dance or whatever. It was hilarious.
That just goes to show the decline I've watched at AEW.
I watched Dynamite and that's it.
That was like the last thing I remember. But I think Ethan Page is gonna do wonders in WWE, especially NXT.
Oh yeah.
And I don't expect him being in NXT that long. Like I feel like he's gonna be there for as long as like Dragon Lee type of run, where he was just there for like about a year or so.
Yeah, like he'll get drafted up in the next draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope as well that I know that apparently her contract was only for like 3 appearances. I hope Jordan Grace comes back to NXT.
Yeah, hers is a little different.
I do know
Good.
that they're doing I did hear that they're doing more of crossovers, and I did hear that Jordan Grace is defending her title at the next pay-per-view in an open challenge.
Yeah. Which everyone's thinking is that Tatum Paxley.
Yeah.
Also,
Tatum Paxley.
we also I want to bring up. So I love continuity because continuity makes no sense. So during the Jordan Grace and Roxanne Perez match, Dana Brooke came out, and the announcer called her Dana Brooke for a second, but then had to call her by her TNA name, Ash by Elegance. But we all know it's Dana Brooke, so it's just continuity of wrestling names. It's just so funny when you go back to a company, but you're still called by your new name. But the announcers call you as Dana Brooke.
I have a great idea, and I don't know if they're going to do this with Survivor Series, but you know how Survivor Series you always had Raw versus SmackDown? I say you bring back for NXT, you bring back NXT Worlds Collide.
Oh,
But it's
TNA,
but it's NXT TNA or NXT TNA brand, and it's gonna be NXT versus TNA talent.
take my money, WWE. I will fly there. I'll take my money, please.
Notice how I'm not talking a lot because you guys watch TNA and NXT
I at least-
way more than
He's
me.
the NXT guy. I'm the old school TNA fan.
I watched TNA or Impact from like 2015, but it was like up until when they went to Access TV that I just stopped
Oh yeah, when
watching.
I don't have that channel, so I can't watch it.
So it was like before AEW started was the last time I saw TNA. So there's just too much wrestling.
It's just, there's never too much exciting stuff. The last thing before we get to our takedown top 5s is more Roman Reigns news because I am too obsessed with this guy and can't stop talking about him. There's been some weird rumors about like first it's like he's coming back in like July because he was advertised for like the SmackDown before SummerSlam, like he's gonna come back then. I think now they're saying like he was taken off of that or something, and now it's kind of like we don't know if Roman's. They're saying like it was canceled. I don't know if it was truly canceled or what the hell's going on. I hope we see Roman at SummerSlam, but I don't know what your thoughts are in terms of when he'll come back.
Well, the thing is, cause I'm thinking if Roman, I guess Solo and them can have a match, and that's when Roman comes out. But like, where else on the show would he come out? Because he's not gonna be in like the. I wonder, like, because he's face now, would he like make amends with
everyone's
Cody? Like, that's what I'm
saying
confused about.
I don't know if he'll immediately. He'll get popped, and I don't know if he's gonna immediately
Make amends.
babyface.
Yeah, I want to know how they're really gonna play this by the timing, because obviously he's gonna be there for Survivor Series. We need a War Games match because we have to.
Yeah,
But I'm just curious, like, so what they're gonna do with that, because they're on. Because he is popular now, but I wonder how long that like wave of babyface might last for him. Because they know
as long
Roman
as
Reigns can't be a babyface. I'm sorry, they
Yeah.
failed every time.
As long as I kind of disagree. I think as long as he's a part-timer, this is where I think him being a part-timer isn't the worst thing now that he's no longer champion. And it flies on my computer. But like, yeah, as long as he's
Listen, stop worrying. Stop.
I'll stop worrying about
Stop
it.
We're gonna finish the show.
Welcome to the podcast.
This is a professional podcast.
We always gotta have like a funny moment in the podcast.
This is a very professional podcast.
But like, I think him as a part-timer keeps him fresh.
Mhm.
I think Roman will basically be like the new Rock when Rock was in his prime, and he'll be his bloodline character pretty much.
He's okay.
I think everyone's just like, oh, Roman as a baby face. Because, like, but that was Vince. That was his version of a Roman baby face, the big dog. We ain't seen when we see Roman Reigns, he ain't going to be a fucking big dog anymore. He's still going to be the tribal chief. I think he's still going to do his same entrance, hold the one up, and say, acknowledge me, but he'll just be more sympathetic or, like, more grateful for the fans. But, like, yeah, you can't have him be goody two-shoes anymore. He's still got to be the tribal chief, just like a good guy version. And now it's crazy how the moment he lost that title, they're like, "Thank you, Roman." Then they finally appreciate him. They finally acknowledged him after all this time.
It took 4 years. It just like I said, my thing is like, because the tribal chief character is so heelish in the way he does stuff. They're gonna have to really toe the line of how they want to do this.
I think we're gonna get a lot of like apology segments of Roman emotional, crying, upset,
Just
how
going
he's
through,
treated
I'm
Jay
sorry,
and
I'm
Jimmy
sorry.
and Sammy.
Okay.
I like those would be cool. The Bloodline always kill it in those really long segments.
So
but
30-minute segments, but a gold.
But yeah, I think we'll get those when Roman comes back. There's no. What can you do with him as a heel? He's not the champion anymore.
No. I know. I'm curious what they're gonna do with his character.
I think that Roman's gonna show up prior to SummerSlam. I think they might do Solo versus Roman at SummerSlam.
That early, really?
I think so too. I think that makes sense.
Because then you could do the whole Survivor Series War Games, and then at Mania it'd be Roman versus Rock.
Okay. I was more thinking Solo versus Roman at Royal Rumble.
I think, and they did like a triple power bomb, I think, too, last week on SmackDown. That was more like, okay, Roman's got to be coming back soon. I think he'll be back soon. And I think Solo makes the most sense because Solo's now calling the shots and Roman's be like, no, I do it. I don't think Roman's going to immediately like rekindle with them. I want to see Roman Solo at SummerSlam. And I know we mentioned Fatu, fraternity face. I want to see Fatu show up for the first time at SummerSlam and cost Roman the match against Solo.
Oh,
You want to talk about a way to bring Fatu up, attacking Roman and giving Solo the win? Because if they have a match, I don't know what benefit Roman has to winning that. I think you got to give that to Solo when they inevitably clash. So either that or maybe The Rock returns and costs Roman, which would be another shocking moment. But what other match with Roman right now makes sense? I know Cody, another rematch, or people were saying Seth because of the whole Mania finish, but he's out for a while.
Yeah, he's gonna be gone for like the rest of the year, probably.
Yeah, so I feel like, I think Roman's gonna be back. I think these weird like, oh, it's canceled or whatever. Like, I don't.
So it's a swerve, bro. It's a swerve.
With all these injuries too.
I give AW shit, but I love Swerve.
But yeah, I think he'll definitely be back soon, especially with the injuries WWE has. They kind of need a big guy, like superstar like him back.
Yeah, they've had a bad bug of injuries.
Now,
really.
like I think even like it's a minor injury, but Orton's hurt.
Yeah, everyone keeps getting injured. It's getting scary, y'all.
It is. It's 2016 all over again.
Oh, when every son of a don't remind me of those terrible times.
But now, no more terrible times, no more hard times. These are
hard times on the American dream.
Speaking of that, storylines, TakeDown top 5. It is going to be our personal favorite storyline / feuds.
Okay.
We're going to be winging this. Usually I'm the organized one. I'm even going to be thinking off the cuff of my head here. So who's the most ready out of the three of us?
I could go, I guess.
You have what, 4 in your head?
I thought of a 5th one.
Ooh,
but
I still have 2.
I mean, it's going to be more of like what's in general. It's not just WWE. I have an AEW storyline. It's way past that. Still lives up to this day, I think. So, my 5th top 5 storyline would be Kenny Omega versus Hangman Adam Page.
Oh, yeah.
And just the whole Adam Page redemption stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Hangman was just like, this was a time where he was just drunk and just doing cowboy shit, and his tag partner Kenny like left to do single stuff, and Hangman just was like, he never could do it. He never made he had multiple world title matches, but he could never win the title. So I think when we had the match, everyone was just like, come on, Hangman, he's gonna do it, and he finally did, and I think it was a really good moment. So, number 4, I'm going really old school. I am saying Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man Randy Savage.
We're going to the 80s.
Mega Powers.
Listen,
if you think about the golden age of like the 80s, 90s, whatever, that rivalry still lives up to this day.
Oh yeah.
And it's a thing where like Macho Man turned on Hogan for the right reasons.
Yeah,
he was justified.
Macho Man's the face. Let's be honest. He's the face in this situation.
I mean, like, and people thing is, people still loved Hogan at the time and all that, so people would think that Macho Man was bad. But in the same time, you could say, well, Macho Man's right. I mean, Hogan's getting with his girl, and yeah, it's seeming more like just a friendship type of thing. And then it
led to real life heat too between.
Oh
them.
yeah,
years. And didn't it lead to like Elizabeth and Macho Man breaking up, to which then led them to get back together for Macho Man's send off,
marriage,
or Macho
retirement match,
Yeah,
So-
so much.
I just because of that, I'm just gonna say that. Number 3, I'm gonna take you back to 2016.
Dude.
Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz.
Oh,
yeah.
I think
I'm
the
with you.
whole Ziggler promo of him just breaking down,
Yeah.
He's
Keep
breaking down. Like,
breaking down, and it just like
break the walls.
it got me back invested with Ziggler. And when he put his jaw, like his career on the line, I mean, he cut such a passionate promo to where I was like, okay, he has to win this. And then I was thinking, okay, Ziggler's gonna win this, and then he's gonna get a huge ass push after that. Didn't really lead to that. I mean, he won the title, but I just remember that promo and all that. And this was during Miz's golden IC title reign, or like close to it around that time.
he was constant with that belt.
So I had to say that. So number 2, I'm going to say the Daniel Bryan storyline of Yes Mania.
Authority.
Which they come on, there's no way they actually planned that.
Yes,
That was so much garbage the entire time.
Oh no, they planned it. It was supposed to be that the whole time. Definitely wasn't supposed to be
no
Orton Batista.
way that they actually planned this.
I
They're
think.
not that good.
I mean, you see at the Rumble, and
In Pittsburgh.
and the fact that Bryan wasn't even in the damn Rumble, and yet fans were so livid.
They were booing Rey Mysterio.
This is Pittsburgh that
You
happened.
know?
Yeah, we booed the shit out of Rey Mysterio.
So
Let that sink in your mind.
So when Daniel Bryan had his
This
moment,
guy's last match for 9 years.
when Daniel Bryan finally had his good moment, it was such a feel good moment, and I don't think anything.
Monster,
I don't think-
monster.
Yeah.
Oh,
Double
yeah,
brackets
they
and
got
everything.
that song. It was
I
like,
don't think anything can top that, except for my number 1 pick.
oh,
I am going to say Kofi Mania.
Wow.
Now
an underrated choice.
we're not talking about his title reign. We're just talking about
We don't sorry, Kofi. We love you.
leading to WrestleMania. Daniel Bryan was literally everything he fought against in 2014. And Kofi was the new Daniel Bryan. The difference is that Kofi has been with the business for however many years. And he always he got his push stopped because of Orton. And he at one point before the New Day even happened, he was about to get fired. If it wasn't for the New Day, he would have been fired.
Mhm.
And I know Kofi wasn't originally supposed to be in that match against Daniel Bryan, but because Ali got hurt and they had Kofi in the chamber, the crowd was invested. And even leading up to the match, where you had to have Kofi beating the number 1 contender, where Xavier and Big E had to help out Kofi get the match. And then what also brought up to me was like when they had to face the Usos, and the Usos refused to face the New Day, and they were just like, no, out of respect, we fought so many times. I respect for you guys. We want Kofi to win the title. We forfeit. And it just led to such a great moment. I mean, Kofi had his kids come out when he won the title. And it was such a good match too.
They remember Brian had the hempweight belt. They threw away the hempweight belt to get the real WWE title back.
Yeah.
So good.
And they already had t-shirts ready.
They were ready.
So I would say that would be number 1 because it would top, in my opinion, it tops Daniel Bryan's storyline, because this is literally that, but later on,
More out of nowhere too.
Yeah.
Brian's kind of felt inevitable while
Because
Kofi's
they kept
out of nowhere.
kept changing.
Troy,
2014
are you ready, or you want me to go next?
No, I got a few.
Nice.
So anytime I do these lists, I don't put them in order. They're just in my head.
And he loves to complain. So for once, this is a positive list for him.
Woo! Finally, I can talk positive.
Number 1 favorite,
First,
Eddie Kingston versus Goldberg. That will happen at Wembley Stadium this year.
That's a meme face.
All in this year, baby.
I will
Woo!
stop watching AW if that happens. I swear.
Goldberg goes for the spear, then
Oh, the shit slap. Oh, God. The fucking whole.
hits his Hadouken.
Oh, the bum out of Walmart slap. Okay. I was actually going to say something positive about AEW. My favorite feud in AEW will always be the MJF versus CM Punk feud. I just think that was MJF's best feud. That was Punk's best feud. And I think that's AEW's most complete, just quintessential feuds that they did. They did everything right. The blood, the animosity, the picture of MJF with CM Punk. Genius. Led some great matches. And that was a highlight of AEW back when that was going on. And it's so sad. I'm not going to get negative. I don't want to get negative. I'm trying to be positive because that feud was so awesome. Like I said, it's my favorite AEW feud of all time. That was just amazing. The promos they had. Gold. All right.
Thought you said you're ready.
I had options. Number 4. Well, I'm not going in order. I'm just thinking of stuff. I'm just thinking how many more I need to do.
You said number though.
Yeah, I'm asking how many more I need to do. 4. At least you're having fun back there.
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Why am I now drawing a blank? Of course, I'm now on the spot. I had options in my head, and as soon as
no pressure, Troy. What's up?
Okay. So I feel like I need to talk about TNA because I love TNA. This is a feud that's terrible, but I love it because it's funny.
Steve versus Joe.
No. It's Matt Morgan versus Scott Steiner. The promo offs were terrible. Scott Steiner like, I don't want your DNA. If I had your DNA, I'd shoot myself. Scott Steiner makes everything better. And I just remember that feud because how terrible it was. This is my personal list, so I can say this was bad. But I love it so much because it brings me so much joy.
Only he brings up a bad storyline in the top 5.
Yeah, I can like what I want. I like garbage.
Oh man.
Number 3 has to be the Cody Bloodline stuff that was building for years. I mean, it's a given that's gonna go down in history as one of the greatest storylines of all time.
Pick.
They're more recent.
All right, let me go. Next one, Triple H versus Cactus Jack. That feud,
Okay.
when they had the street fight, Mick Foley, Mankind, he couldn't beat Triple H, so he brought out Cactus Jack. They had the Rumble match was incredible. If you've not seen it, holy shit. And then they had that epic Hell in a Cell match. My one gripe is that they had to bring Foley back for Mania because he really wanted to main event Mania. He really wanted to before he retired. Should have done it.
Fatal 4-way.
We don't talk about that.
Man in every corner.
McFoley at least main evented Mania, so I'm happy about that. Like
Wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that's not a bad match, but the fact that he retired 3 weeks later, I'm with Linda McMahon now. Terrible.
The worst actor in the McMahon family.
But those 2 months, beginning of 2000,
oh yeah,
amazing, solid gold. And I'm also thinking of, I used to also be a big Ring of Honor fan. So my favorite feud of all time that I had the fondest memories of, because that was so deep in Ring of Honor, was Jay Lethal versus Jay Briscoe, title for title. I think I was just so ingrained because I love Jay Lethal. He's also like, he's in AW now, so unfortunately he kind of is also lost in the shuffle, but he was
Jarrett.
He was my favorite in TNA. He's my favorite in Ring of Honor. I just love the storyline. I love the storyline of champions fighting for both belts. They didn't do that for Logan versus Cody, which I get it, but also like, then why? Confusing. But no, they did it right. Jay Lethal won. He had an incredible Ring of Honor world title reign after that. He was their TV champion for like 600 days or something. And he held that belt for donkey's ages. And that was just another great one that I remember. So we got 4 actual great ones, and Scott Steiner versus Matt Morgan. The DNA of TNA.
Yeah.
Please go.
Now that we're done with that shitty list, Dylan, it's your turn.
Wow, fuck you, dickhead.
Here's the thing.
You don't watch much outside wrestling besides AEW and WWE.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see TNA Ring of Honor.
The thing is, too, I'm going to mention quickly like the ones you two already brought up, just so I don't go over detail too long, because I want to be different, because I don't want to talk about the same stuff per lane. So I'll quickly go over my favorites. The Bloodline, my favorite storyline of all time is that. Not just the Cody, everything. I know there were some stagnant moments when Roman was champ, but like the beginning is my personal favorite, when he came back and the whole Jay stuff during the pandemic.
He's going the hand,
Night
the
of
Hell
Champions
in a
match, the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah,
Sammy joining and all that.
Yeah, Sammy joining was amazing.
Gold.
And then turning. And then obviously when The Rock joined, like he kind of reinvigorated that storyline. It made the Cody Roman feud more interesting. Just everything about that. And it's not even done yet. Like that's just how good they've been. So I think that's my personal favorite. Punk MJF's my favorite AEW storyline too.
Yeah.
The Page stuff was great.
It's good.
Like,
I'm not saying that's
the
amazing
only
stuff.
thing was we never got the third encounter between Punk and MJF.
Yeah.
We were supposed to, but
injuries
and fighting backstage. But like, yeah, it was so good. Just the first promo they had that was like 20 minutes of just pure gold.
Pure.
MJF, a less famous Miz, saying main event night one of a buy one get one Mania. While Punk's the one that's in WWE right now, and
Dope. It's
MJF's
amazing, isn't it?
still here.
He still wants to be part of a one night
buy one get
get
one.
one free.
He might be a
When
main event of
MJF
it.
came back at All Out, confronted Punk's like. He said the same thing, like the greatest thing the devil ever did, make you people believe he didn't exist. I'm the devil himself.
Amazing.
Just the references when they're before their dog collar match, which was amazing.
So good.
The picture that they had when they met each other was gold, and MJF got emotional and was like, "I was a loser and stuff, but like you were my hero." And then he turns on him. But that stuff was amazing. So yeah, that would be my favorite. AEW storyline. The other one would be Kofi Mania, that like you mentioned. I mean, the Brian stuff's great, but I didn't watch at the time, and two, it was so fucked up. Like it was not a perfect circle.
No, it was.
The best stuff was like SummerSlam, the moment when Triple H turned on him, and then the road to Mania once Brian was in it. But then like you had the stupid fast count thing that Brian won the title, then got it taken away. Batista winning the Rumble.
It was like
There were all types.
It was like a
fucked up
bumpy
stuff.
road on the end of it's like.
Meanwhile,
Stark-
Kofi's came because he had a great performance in the Chamber. He deserved it. They did a great job, like make it. Like I was so invested. Like I was pissed when at Fastlane or something. They were supposed to fight for the title, but then lost in like a 2-on-1 match or something. Then he won a gauntlet match. Was supposed to win a gauntlet match, got screwed over. Then the New Day won for him. I was invested as shit for Kofi to win. And he did in a great match. Title reign was so, but like the moment itself.
It should have been me.
Excellent.
It should have been me.
Let me start here in terms of timeline. Let's go an old school one because Matt mentioned one. I'm going to go Hogan Andre.
Oh,
From
really?
WrestleMania
Let's go.
3.
Okay.
Because everyone talks about the slam itself, but like Andre turning heel and joining Heenan. Like joining
Iconic.
Heenan was like joining the devil back then.
Yeah.
Jordan Vince.
And Andre
You don't wanna
Andre
get
was
demonetized.
like
Just stop talking.
mega baby face. Like he was the guy before Hogan, pretty much. And I think they told like little nuances too, because Hogan was champ and Andre won some trophy for being undefeated. And Andre did a good job acting too, like him being jealous of like just having a little trophy while Hogan, I think it's like a big trophy and he has the title. And then we look back at things and like Hogan's like the true heel and all of this.
Oh, he's always Hulk Hogan's
like,
always the heel and everything.
That Piper's Pit moment when Andre's wearing a suit, stone face, and Hogan's heartbroken. I hear they challenge you for a world title match at Mania, and then he rips the shirt, and
You're
Hogan's
more
like
elegant than
bleeding
Andre.
a little bit too. And Hogan, it was cheesy because it was the 80s, but he was emotional, was crying.
When you ripped the shirt off my chest, brother, I knew you weren't the same man or whatever.
But like this
Yeah,
was
pretty much.
this was prime Hogan.
Are you not gonna face Andre at Mania 3?
Yes!
Proud act.
But that's what made the story.
I know.
So good. And then the match, it was clunky because poor Andre could
Poor
barely
came
move.
out.
But like that didn't matter because the slam and the leg drop, and just the stories that Hogan tells. Who he always lies in his like interviews, but like he said like he didn't know if Andre was gonna kick out or not
Yeah,
because
no.
Andre would never plan stuff out. So the fact that like that stuff happened, just the whole feud, they did a match like later on. They kind of ran it for too long.
We don't talk
But the
about that one.
Mania 3 feud was iconic, one of the best feuds in the 80s. 90s, I'm just gonna go the whole Bret Shawn saga.
Oh,
Just
you know what I thought you were gonna say? I thought you were gonna say Bret and Owen.
yeah, that's true.
That's enough, but Bret and Shawn.
And I
also.
would guess go specifically just like Bret's 1997 and just like his whole
his
character arc.
hating Canadians, hating Americans.
Him getting screwed in like the Rumble that year and a title match with Sid that year, and then the whole famous moment where he started swearing. Bret wasn't the best promo guy, but as a heel, he was gold.
He's good when he complains. That's all he can do.
Him and like
Complain.
Team Canada, Canada cheered him, but the USA hated him.
It was so. Yeah,
The whole Michaels accidentally hitting Undertaker and Brett winning the title. Then the iconic Hell in a Cell match between HBK Undertaker, which led to Survivor Series. And yeah, just that feud in general and the promos they cut because they legit hated each other.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, the screw
Seen
job.
some sunny days.
Oh God. But the screw job, yeah, it sucked. But like, it is iconic for a reason. And just the bad blood Sean Brett had. And that led to Mr. McMahon, that whole Sean Brett feud. It led to that. And it led to Stone Cold's rise. And then Sean Brett also had an Iron Man match. People say it's overrated. I think it's personally good, but like Sean, the boyhood dream. So that's just, yeah, that feud's amazing. I'll go one more. I will say the 4 years of Taker, HBK, and Triple H Mania matches.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's kind of all convoluted into it.
It's pretty much the same.
If I were to go a specific, out of the 4, well, in terms of matches, I like 25 the best. Storylines, I like 26 the best of HBK, like career in the line. But it is kind of like a 4-year story of like just the iconic matches. First match was Heaven versus Hell. Second was his career on the line. Third was Triple H like defending his buddy and everything. And then the fourth was end of an era. Which
no, it wasn't.
Crown Jewel happened.
That never happened.
What happened?
Sean retired at Mania 26.
He had a great retirement. He's now head of NXT. He's doing really well.
He's doing. But like, yeah,
he looks old as hell now.
But yeah, those 4 matches, and just like I said, the stories of them was just amazing, just incredible, and the whole moment of HBK switching music, the pedigree, and Taker kicking out. That was prime Taker streak. Were those 4 years, and if it wasn't going to be either of them, I don't know why the fuck you end that streak to Brock, a part-time Brock Lesnar in a bad match.
Well, to be fair, I probably wouldn't have been. Taker did get concussed, so
yeah,
I'm sure that match
it wasn't either their faults, but like, yeah, I just
Goldberg got concussed too when he faced Taker, and look how that turned out.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah,
but concussed in a match, it's not well.
Yeah, but those would be like, yeah, that Taker 4 years. Those would be my 3 Mania match, like, or for 3 storylines that like you two didn't mention: the Hogan, Andre, Brett, Shawn, Taker, Shawn, and Triple H.
I was gonna bring.
What?
I was gonna bring up because I'm now actually thinking of more storylines I like. The Punk versus Taker feud for Mania 29.
I was thinking about saying
where they use the urn. I think that is just such. Remember when he poured the ashes of Paul Bear, fake ashes on that? The heat of that. That was the only reason I watched Mania 29. I don't remember what the hell happened on that show. Probably nothing.
Cena Rock too.
So who cares? I do remember
once in a lifetime. That is the best story.
Okay, and actually no. First once in a lifetime when they first started, just Mania 28. Yeah, that was pretty scrumptious. Not going to lie, that was pretty tasty.
I hate to say overrated feud.
Listen, they shouldn't have done twice in a lifetime. Should have never done that.
It's just I don't think they did it right with the whole like Rock comes back to host and overshadows Miz in the main event.
But
and
it's
that
the
horrible
Miz.
main
Who
event.
cares?
And then Miz kid gets concussed, and then Rock's like, "Oh, we'll fight next year." And then they had great promos leading up to it. They did, but that was about it. Then they had their match, and then Cena inevitably got his rematch. I mean, it's just I hate to say, in terms of like Cena feuds, I think it's overrated because I think feuds like Cena Edge, and like Cena Styles, Cena Punk. I think those 3 are much better than the Rock feud.
Cena Umaga. They had great matches.
Yeah, they did.
The Umaga feud. What? I like Umaga. Do you not like Umaga?
I love Umanga.
Umanga.
Regal would say
Umanga.
Umanga.
Oh, and then of course Rock, Stone Cold, Mania, X7. The My Way promo is one of the greatest promos of all time.
It's my way to the highway.
Dude, when we were going to Mania, all I kept blasting was Limp Bizkit. I was so hyped.
Matt, do you have any others you'd like to mention, storylines, like honorable mentions or stuff forgot to mention?
Considering Troy had some ridiculous ones. The Matt Morgan one was.
Watch it. That shit was hilarious.
I'll name 2 funny, hilarious ones that are just the gold ones. Actually, no, I'll name 3.
This man's got so many.
These are all joke ones.
I don't care.
Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan.
No. Let's let the time
I think the feud was good. and
Sean.
funny.
No, do you remember?
Match
brother.
That was also the feud where they were in Montreal and Sean played the Bret Hart
Yeah.
music and Bret Hart was nowhere to be seen. He was like,
Yeah.
"Gotcha, Montreal." That was hilarious.
Who's your daddy?
That's what he said.
Montreal?
I couldn't remember what he said.
Sean selling the match is hilarious. My second honorable mention is ending of a streak. Kurt Hawkins finally won a match at WrestleMania.
On the pre-show, it was the pre-show.
And he won the tag titles with his best buddy, Matt Cardona.
How
Zack
did those
Ryder.
tag titles? Who did they lose them to? I don't remember that reign at all.
He lost to
Like
There's so many.
FTR.
There's so many
What,
random-
Revival?
they beat FTR.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
He was someone. It was a different team that was AOP.
I don't know.
I think it was AOP.
You could show me just a random group of people with any of those penny belts or nickel belts, and I'd believe you that those were real tag champions. They put those belts on everyone.
And then no, I know who it was. It was Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. I remember now because that was like when Drew came back, and then they had. to
Hey,
win the
wait,
tag
is it?
titles.
Didn't they also? Did that mean they lost it to Braun and Seth? Didn't they?
Probably yeah.
Seth has so many weird tag titles. You know, he was tag champions with Jason Jordan. They're
Yeah, I
trying to
remember.
push Jason
dude,
Jordan.
I
to
remember
win.
that. And then my third and favorite storyline is Heath's got kids.
Okay, that was actually awesome. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Funny, that was gold.
All right, it all started with him not even getting drafted.
Amazing.
And it should have been like how everyone deals with the draft. Like this year, I think Drew was the only one who actually cared about how he was placed in the draft.
Yeah.
Heath never even got drafted, and he was working his ass off just to get a job.
He had kids.
To then where a returning Rhino happened, and them winning the tag titles. To then like him going to Raw and like sticking up to Brock Lesnar, and then Brock Lesnar saying, "I don't give a fuck about your kids or anything like that." So it's a joke. It's a joke one, but at the same time, I thought it was pretty entertaining in a sense.
I'll guess I'll give a few more serious ones.
I'm now
You
thinking
know,
of
the
so many
jokes.
more in my
You
head.
gotta give us a funny
Well,
one.
this is it. So we got to end this soon. But like
The
the original formation of the NWO, because I'll shout out WCW. It got way too big and way too shit. But like 1996, when it's like, who's the third man? And like Scott Hall, when he first came out and said, "You want a war, you got a war." Then Kevin Nash,
This is where the big boys
Saying-
play.
yeah.
Look at the adjective.
Even though it's an adverb. I remember people joking about that when his promo, but like they powerbombed Bischoff. And then also, again, with the behind the scenes stuff with it, apparently, like if Hogan didn't want to do it, it'd be Sting, which
Yeah,
would
they-
not have worked. So thank God it was Hogan. I don't think it would.
I don't-
Sting's not a WWE guy. That was the whole story,
Yeah,
was
true.
like invading. That's how you do an invasion storyline right, guys. And Hogan with the leg drop on Randy Savage was just iconic. And the promo afterwards, one of Hogan's best when they're throwing trash into the ring. Yeah, just awesome stuff. The final one I'll say, and that'll be it, is Triple H, Shawn Michaels, the first match, and HBK's just whole comeback.
Oh, 2002.
Yeah.
Yes.
They ended up having a lot more, like kind of too many matches
the
afterwards.
feud.
But the original first was their best feud. I remember that promo package too. And that pay-per-view was just so good.
so good.
But yeah, that Sean's comeback, Triple H, they're like at a Reform DX, and he just turns on him out of nowhere. Then they did this whole weird thing in the storyline where Sean like got hit by a car, and
Oh,
Triple H
yeah.
just like, "Who did this? Who did this?" And then he smiles, "You're damn right, it was me, Sean." It's like we knew it was you the whole time.
about that.
But still, just like HBK challenging him at SummerSlam and everything, and just the pops that they got during that match, and it's just, yeah, that original first time was such a good feud. All right,
We didn't mention the Katie Vick storyline with Triple H. And
And that's all for today, folks.
yeah, that is
Turn
it
that off.
for that. That is it for this rendition of WrestleMan for Podcast. My back is killing me, but thank you guys for joining.
course.
Always.
Yeah, this will. We're hoping in the near future, because I'll be back in Millersville next week. I'm hoping for SummerSlam because, like I said, we're planning to do it in person. We really want to do an in-person prediction and review of the pay-per-views, and then I hope we can maybe even like just do this again together on the computers for Money in the Bank, since that's a big pay-per-view as well.
Oh yeah, that's at this point. That's
I like
number
having
5.
you guys for predictions because like weekly stuff, like who cares? But like when pay-per-views happen, stuff we could talk about it.
It's the 3 amigos for the predictions.
Yes,
And then the winner who always wins the predictions.
Unless it's for the belt, and then he stops doing it because he keeps losing.
yes.
That's an inside joke that probably no one knows.
We'll talk about it
Next time.
All right. Have a good night, guys. We will see you